Hey everybody, it's Alicia and I am sitting here with Miss Marie, the 1950s Singer Featherweight. And so this machine, as you can tell, has, well, I don't really particularly know the history of this machine, but you can definitely tell that it's got some imperfections in it, to say the least. But despite some of the missing clear coat and the paint chipping, this machine is still very beautiful in its own way, and it still is stitching very beautifully as well. So here's some stitches that we did while we were setting the upper tension. And the machine has a few little quirks in there, but not anything that's too alarming. So first off is going to be when you go to wind the bobbin, you're going to want to make sure that the presser foot is down. And as we've learned over time, some of these machines end up, the shaft in here just gets a lot of wear and tear to it. And so this little guy will end up moving up and down when you're winding a bobbin. And unfortunately for this particular machine, this is also the case. So as of right now, we've got Clickity's cord in here. I am still waiting on the plug, and I do apologize for that. Need to find out what's going on, because every time I order from this particular person, it seems like my mail is getting lost in shipment, and it's rather frustrating on my end, and I know that it's frustrating when you're waiting for your machine. So we wanted to go ahead and get the test stitches done and have the machine basically ready to go, so as soon as we wire up the cord and we test it and it's good to go, the machine can get sent out right away. So I'll put the last glaze on here before we ship out the machine, and then I will also clean up the latches and put the last bit of polish on the case itself once it's ready to walk out the door, so that way it's in its very best condition once it arrives. So let's go ahead and get started with the stitching debut. We're going to go ahead and do some forwards and backwards stitching as we generally always do, and then I will show them to you guys, and you guys can always let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Let's get started. This machine does sew really well. Kind of goes, as the saying goes, looks aren't everything. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So here is those, and we'll change that stitch length so that way you guys can kind of see a different length, and then we'll do some backwards. This is the stitch that we did here, and it's kind of pulling just a little bit. That's because this fabric is a little bit on the thinner side. I'm going to grab another piece for doing the backwards stitching, but I always recommend anyways, either it's set to the Gutermann. If you end up using a different weight of thread, you're going to have to mess with the tension anyways. My goal is just to have it stitching as perfect as I can before it ships out to you, but it will vary depending on the actual thread itself. So this one, oops, actually here when it's stitching backwards, we probably want to make it just a little bit here. And that is the other thing that I have noticed from time to time. It doesn't always fit 110%. That's better. Much better. So there's the backward stitches. So that is Miss Marie, and we have her all ready to go. And like I said, we're just waiting on the plug. So thank you everyone for joining us here at Featherweight 38. And if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to ask. We'll be more than happy to answer them for you.